Firstly, what is plastic pollution? Plastic pollution refers to the accumulation of synthetic products in the environment to the extent where they create issues for wildlife and their habitats, as well as human populations. The revolution in materials by truly synthetic plastic resins is invented and introduced by Bakelite in 1907. Plastic is a polymeric substance with a very big molecules that resembles lengthy chains of limitless interconnecting links. Plastic materials were created with the goal of combating natural degradation process. Synthetic plastics are mostly non-biodegradable and they tend to persist in environment. Landscapes littered with plastic packaging have become the norm in many parts of the world. Plastics had been discovered to be persistent pollutants of various ecological niches by the end of the 20th century, whether they are confused for food by animals, clog drainage systems, or cause considerable aesthetic blights. Plastics are a well-known large-scale pollution worldwide.
How plastic pollution occurs? First, plastic is used almost everywhere. Plastics are the most affordable and easily available items in the current world, which is used by almost everyone. Plastics are used as packaging materials in home utilities, plastic bottles, straw, plastic paper bags, cans, and more. Second, plastics are cheap and affordable to manufacture. Because plastics are the cheapest and most affordable material to manufacture, their production has tripled in the recent decades to take care of the ever-rising consumer demands. Because of this quality, plastic has been used to make almost every single utility, including plastic water bottles, straw, plastic paper bags, and food containers. Third is reckless disposal. We use plastic in the short period since we see no need for retaining or reusing them. Therefore, after getting the essential item, most people don't see the need of keeping the remaining plastic and finally, it ends up disposed somewhere in the bins or on the roadside. 4. Slow decomposition rate. According to some researchers, plastic take hundreds of years to decompose because they have strong chemical bonds that simply make them last. The simplest plastics, such as the one used in grocery stores, take at least 50 years to break down, while the complex ones take between 100 and 600 years to decompose.
How plastic move around the world? Plastic move through wind. Single-use plastics such as straw are small and light, so they are easily blown away by the wind. The plastics will be blown into the nearest river before reaching the sea or ocean. Plastics blown by the wind came from landfill sites where they were dumped. Plastic also moved through the rain. Litter or small rubbish that was dropped on the street did not just remain at the same place. Rainwater carries plastic waste that originally from the land into the rivers. It will usually go through the drains, which will eventually lead to the ocean. Lastly, plastics also move through the floods. Extreme floods in an area will carry rubbish from terrestrial environment to the sea. Usually, the plastics that came through the flood into the sea and ocean are varies in size and in large quantities. Once the plastics in the ocean are stuck together, it can be transported to the whole world through ocean current.
Have you ever wondered how do the floating plastics release into the ocean when missing? Well, now you know. Researchers from China and United States has found a significant use of sunlight in plastic breakdown. When exposed to sunshine, plastic garbage in salt water breaks down and dissolves into organic molecules far more quickly than expected. This breakdown produces a pool of organic chemicals in the ocean that later can be ingested by the local microbes. However, this also depends on the plastic's photoreactivity itself. Polypropylene and ethylene require a long time to dissolve, ranging from years to decades, whereas polystyrene dissolves quickly due to the presence of aromatic chemical groups that absorb sunlight.
Most plastics do not degrade, but they slowly fragment into smaller particles referred to as microplastics. Microplastics are defined by as synthetic solid particles or polymeric matrices with regular or irregular shapes and with size ranging from 1 micrometer to 5 millimeter. of either primary or secondary manufacturing origin, which are insoluble in water. There are two categories of microplastics, which are primary and secondary. Primary microplastics are designed for commercial use, directly released into nature as small particles. Example, cosmetics such as facial scrub microbeads, car tires or laundering of synthetic clothes, while secondary microplastics are resulting from degradation and fragmentation process in the environment. Example, bottles, plastic bags, or fishing nets. Microplastics can harm sea creatures and humans because they are tiny particles. It's easily ingested and has impact on organisms.
Effects of plastic pollution. Human health. Several chemicals used in the production of plastics have potentially harmful effects which can be carcinogenic or promote endocrine destruction. Some of the additives are used as phthalate plasticizers and brominate flame retardants. Humans can be exposed through nose, mouth, and skin. Some of the chemicals can cause eye sore, cancers, skin diseases, liver dysfunction, lung problems, and respiratory problems. Climate change. If plastic waste is incinerated, it releases carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere, thereby increasing emissions such as GHG emissions. The global warming potential of black carbon is up to 5,000 times greater than the carbon dioxide. The examples of climate change are rising sea levels, ice melting, and heat wave. Marine system. The most visible impacts of plastic debris are the ingestion, suffocation, and entanglement of hundreds of marine species. Marine wildlife such as seabird, whale, fish, and turtle mistake plastic waste for prey. Most of them then die of starvation as their stomachs become filled with plastic. Sometimes they are entangled with plastic productions such as nets, which can harm and kill them. They also suffer from lacerations, infections, reduced ability to swim, and internal injury. Plastic pollution can upset the food chain. An animal species dies, resulting food may become scarce for another species. Over time, much of it has broken down into tiny particles that make their way into lakes, rivers, and oceans, eventually contaminating our food and water. For instance, if water pollution causes the death of fish in a lake, the bears as well as the human in the area would need to seek another sources of food.
Solution for plastic pollution. First, decrease the amount of single-use plastic use. Instead of using single-use plastic such as plastic bag, plastic water bottles and take-out containers, we can replace them with reusable grocery bags, stainless steel bottles and reusable food containers. Second, join or arrange a beach cleanup day. Beach cleanup will reduce the amount of the plastic on the beach and ocean by removing and picking up the rubbish in the area. We can collect the plastic waste on our own or with the groups. Third, recycle the plastic with the right method. Make sure to recycle as much plastic as you can to keep the plastic away and to lower the quantity of the new plastic circulation in the river or ocean. Next, how to prevent plastic pollution. First, organize campaign. We should organize campaign about plastic pollution so that we can help others aware of the problem. We should inform our friends and family about how they can help or host a viewing party for one of the many documentaries about plastic pollution. Second, use biodegradable plastic. Plastics that decompose naturally in the environment are known as biodegradable plastic. The chemical structure of biodegradable plastics allows them to be easily broken down by natural microorganisms, resulting in a less harmful end product for the environment. Third, use natural materials. Replace plastic items at home with alternatives made from natural materials. Natural materials easily to find and not harmful to environment as well as to people. Product examples such as bamboo toothbrushes, rice straw, bamboo glass jars, and wooden toys.
In conclusion, we must really take care of our earth. You know that plastic pollution is a very big issue since it has many negative effects. They are not limited to one part of the ecosystem, but different parts of the environment are also affected, and this is result in the loss of biodiversity. We can also conclude that major reason of plastic pollution occur is due to irresponsible human activities. Humans do not throw plastic in the trash and have thrown it everywhere. This is not a problem for them if the plastic is discarded at will because it is cheap and affordable. So if they want to use it, they can just buy it without any worries. Like we explained before, this plastic pollution will cause human health to be exposed, which will lead to a variety of dangerous diseases. It also causes climate change and the marine ecosystem, and the food chain will be disrupted. To overcome this issue, everyone needs to be on board to solve the problem. We must ensure that action and cleanup operations are undertaken in areas where the problem is the greatest.
It's like a Polaroid love 사랑 촌스러운 그 감정 근데 내 가슴이 뛰어 when I